I know you see chords and wonder, what do they mean? Why are they so important? And how can I possibly learn all of them? And you also might wonder, why do certain chords sound so good together in songs? I spent years simplifying music theory and piano for adults, helping thousands of students go from total confusion to playing their favorite songs faster. In this video, I'm going to answer the questions you've been asking. What do chords actually mean? How can you learn them easily? And exactly why certain chords are put together to create the music you love. Before we dive in, I've put all the formulas and patterns we're about to cover into a free resource called the Ultimate Chord Starter Kit. You can grab it at the link in the description below so you can follow along without having to take notes. So let's start with the first question. What exactly is a chord? Simply put, a chord is just a group of notes played at the same time. But I don't want you to think of them as just notes. I want you to think of them as the emotional colors of a song. Every chord has a specific mood, and once you recognize that mood, the piano starts to make a lot more sense. For example, a major chord sounds happy, bright, and strong. It's the sound of a sunny day, like this. A minor chord is the exact opposite. It sounds sad, moody, or even a bit mysterious. It's the sound of a rainy afternoon. And then you have the diminished chord. This is what I call the spooky chord. It's full of tension and it makes you feel like something is about to happen in a movie. When you understand these moods, you stop seeing chords as a confusing puzzle and you start seeing them as the feeling of the music. You aren't just hitting keys anymore, you're actually telling a story. Which leads us to the next big question. Why are chords so important? Because chords are the foundation of every song, no matter the genre. The truth is, you are playing chords constantly, whether you realize it or not. It doesn't matter if you're playing a Taylor Swift pop hit or a complex Beethoven sonata, it's all built on the same DNA. Let's look at something like Moonlight Sonata. On sheet music, this looks like individual notes. But when you look closer, you realize that the entire first measure is just one single C-sharp minor chord being played one note at a time. If you try to learn this note by note, it's going to take you forever. But if you understand the chord, you understand the entire measure in about 2 seconds. Once you stop seeing individual dots and start seeing the chords underneath them, you stop being a note reader and you finally start being a musician. You're not just surviving the song anymore, you actually understand how it's built. The same goes for a Taylor Swift pop hit. If you know and understand your chords, you can play them quickly. Her songs are her singing and playing chords, just like you hear in pop, rock, and country. So how do you actually learn all of them? Most people think they need to memorize a massive chord book or a dictionary of symbols, but that is the slowest way to learn. I want to give you a shortcut that I call the counting formula. To use it, you only need to know one thing, what a half step is. A half step is just moving from one note to the very next note on the piano, whether it's white or black like this. If you can count, you can find any chord you want in seconds, like this. So for each formula I'm about to give you, pick your starting note, the root, and count. So for major, here's an example. I'm going to say C, that's my starting note. I'm going to count 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3. Now I've built C major. So the formula to find any major chord is 4 plus 3. Let's look at it on a different note. Let's go to G. G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. That's G major. Now let's go over the other formulas. A minor chord is 3 plus 4. So here's an example. C, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's C minor. Diminished is 3 plus 3. So here's an example. C, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. A suspended 2 chord is 2 plus 5. So that goes like this. C, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A suspended 4 chord is the opposite. It's 5 plus 2. So I'd say C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. We've got all kinds of different chords, as you can see. A dominant 7th chord is 4 plus 3 plus 3. These are jazzier chords, these 7th chords. So that would go like this. C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. A major 7th chord will go like this. 4 plus 3 plus 4. So here's an example. C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And lastly, a minor 7th chord goes like this. C, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3. So that's a super quick way to learn all of your chords. This works on every single key on the piano. You don't need to memorize 1,000 different chords. You just need to know these formulas. You've just unlocked every major, minor, suspended, and 7th chord, and so on in existence in about 2 minutes. I know that's a lot of formulas to remember, so I've put them all on a cheat sheet inside the Ultimate Chord Starter Kit. You can print it out and keep it on your piano so you never have to look up a chord on Google ever again. So find this free resource in the description of this video. So this leads me to the next big question: why do songs use certain chords and what makes them go together? To understand this, we have to look at how music is structured. In music, we have a total of 24 keys, 12 major and 12 minor. Each key represents a specific musical scale. For example, in C major, the scale is this: C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Another example is G major is this: G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. All scales are really just organized into patterns. To understand these patterns, you need to know what a half step and a whole step is. Like I said earlier, a half step is when we go from one key to the very next key. A whole step is basically 2 half steps. It's the distance of skipping one key in the middle, like this. C to D is a whole step because we have one note in the middle. Every major scale follows the same pattern: whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. So check that out with C major, you'll see what I mean. I'm going to say C, whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. Now each note in the scale can be used to create a chord by stacking other notes on top of it. These chords are called triads. So basically, to play the chord, we play every other note from the scale. So in the key of C major, the chords we can use are the first note, C. Then we're going to make a triad. The second note is D, so we're going to start here and make the triad. E, F, G, A, B, C. In the key of C major, the chords we can use are the first note, C, makes the C major chord. The second note is D, that makes the D minor chord. The third note is E, that makes the E minor chord. The fourth note is F, that makes the F major chord. The fifth note is G, that makes the G major chord. The sixth note is A, that makes the A minor chord. And the seventh note is B, and that makes the B diminished chord. Instead of using chord names like C major or D minor, musicians use something called Roman numerals to make it easier. The first chord is represented as 1, Roman numeral 1. The second is 2, lowercase because it's minor. Then we have 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 with a little circle to show it's diminished. So uppercase means the chord is a major chord, and lowercase means it's a minor chord, and the little circle, like I said, is diminished. Here's the magic. This is exactly why certain chords go together in your favorite songs. It all starts with picking a key. For example, let's say your song is in the key of G major. To make that song sound right, you're only going to use the chords that belong in that specific family of G major. And within that family, we want to create a lot of tension and release. That's what makes music sound good. Using our Roman numerals, we can see the roles each chord plays. So typically, you'll start your song on the 1 chord and end it on the 1 chord because that is your home base. It feels safe and finished. But to make the song feel juicy and really good, you need tension. And that's where the 5 chord comes in. The 5 chord is the ultimate tension builder. It creates this strong pull that makes your ears crave a return to the 1 chord. So here's an example of how that sounds in C major. Here's C, the 1 chord. Here's G, the 5 chord. And we want to go back to 1, the C chord. Now that brings us to chord progressions. Simply put, a progression is just the order you play your chords in. The truth is, most of the songs you love use the same progressions over and over again. You already know these sounds, even if you don't know the names yet. Like I just mentioned, the 5 chords sounds great going back to the 1 chord because it creates that tension and release. So a very popular progression is just moving between those primary chords, the 1, the 4, and the 5. And that sounds like this. 1, 4, 5, and then you can go back to 1. You've heard this in thousands of songs, rock, country, and pop. Another one you'll recognize everywhere is 1, 5, 6, 4, and that sounds like this. This is the secret sauce for almost every pop hit on the radio. When you understand these progressions, you stop seeing every song as a new puzzle. You realize that music isn't random, it's built on a foundation of chords that work together to tell a story. Once you know the chords and you know the progressions, you finally have the freedom to just sit down and play. Everything we've covered today, the moods, the formulas, and the progressions, is the real secret to playing the piano fast. Instead of spending years memorizing individual notes, you're learning the actual system that builds the music. When you understand chords, you can learn songs in minutes instead of weeks because you finally see the patterns instead of a puzzle. You stop being a note reader and you finally start being a musician who can just sit down and play. And if you're ready to stop guessing and start playing, grab my free Ultimate Chord Starter Kit in the description. It has all the counting formulas, the most common song progressions, and more. So click the link in the description below and let's get started. Up next, I recommend watching this video. It'll show you the most common chord progressions in music so that you can play your favorite songs fast. So be sure to check it out. And if this video helped you, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.